This video is going to be on the customary units of length and how to convert between them. So customary units of length are basically like your feet, your inches, your yards, your miles. So basically this little square up here will tell you everything you need to know about customary units of length. It is not important to remember these numbers. However, the more you become familiar, the more they'll be easy to remember. You don't need to remember it because you can always Google this information. So, why do we use the customary system? Well, first off, that's because back in the day, our main trading partner was Britain, and they used the customary system, even though the rest of the world kind of used the metric system. Also, we were going through the Industrial Revolution at the time, and all of our infrastructure and machines were set up using the customary system. And at the time, they thought it'd be way too hard to change it, and also thought that it would be financially irresponsible to do so. So let's start talking about these distances. So again, we have inches, we have feet, we have yards, and we have miles. And we can use certain measurements for certain things. For example, if we look at this hang sign right here, you could measure it with any distance you wanted, but the most practical would be the inches. And that is because it's one of our smallest units to measure. So we could use inches to measure the hang sign. Now, our person here doing the T-pose, that's a little tricky because yes, we could measure that in feet, but it'd be very hard to find somebody that's exactly a certain amount of feet tall. So sometimes you can measure with feet and inches together or just straight inches. Our football field here, that's normally measured with yards. However, could you use feet? Well, yes, of course you could use feet if you wanted to. It'd just be more feet than what the yards are. And then finally, we have the distance from um, my house right here, the blue dot, to the red dot to the school. Now, we'd probably measure that with miles, but at the same time, we could use other units of length as well. It would probably not be exact amount of miles. It might have to be 2.1 miles per se, or 2 and 1/10. So how to convert between them? Well, first off, you have to think to yourself, if I'm looking at 4 feet here, is that going to be more than 4 inches or less than 4 inches? And yes, it would be more than 4 inches because inches are smaller. So a good rule of thumb is if you're going from a big unit like feet to a small unit like inches, you are going to want to multiply because inches are smaller and therefore they need to have more of them to equal the number of feet. So if we look at our handy chart up here, 1 foot equals 12 inches. So we have to multiply by 12. So 4 times 12 equals 48 inches. So 4 feet equals 48 inches. Let's look at our next one, inches to feet. Now again, inches are smaller than feet. So will it be 60 feet that equals 60 inches? Or will it be more than 60 or less than 60? Well, the answer is less than 60 feet will equal 60 inches. So if we're going from a small unit to a big unit, you're going to want to divide. And again, we're going to divide by how many inches in a foot. So we're going to divide by 12. So we have 60 inches divided by 12. So what is 60 divided by 12? That is 5. So 60 inches equals 5 feet. So you can use this idea of big units to small units and then using our chart to always figure out how to divide. Let's look at 6 yards to feet. So now 6 yards to feet. Yards are here, feet are here. So 3 feet equal 1 yard. Well, if we have yards to feet, are yards big or are yards small compared to feet? Well, in this case, yards are big and feet are small. So we're going from big units to small units. And so therefore we are going to multiply because it'll be more than 6 feet that equals 6 yards. So what do we multiply by? Well, look back at our chart, of course. And we would multiply by 3. So 6 yards times 3 equals 18 feet. This next one looks a little tricky. Why is the next one tricky? That's because on our chart here, there's no straight number that equals how many inches are in a yard. So what we could do is we could work our way backwards and figure it out, or we could just know something. We could know that 1 yard equals 36 inches. And we can know that because 12 times 3 is 36. So 1 yard does equal 36 inches. Again, big units to small units. Therefore, we are going to multiply. There's going to be a lot of inches that equals this 8 yards. We got to multiply by 36. So yes, we might want to set up our multiplication problem. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times the 30 there, or 3 is 24, plus the 4 is 28. So we have 288 inches. So 8 yards equals 288 inches. Let's keep working through here as we look at 3 miles equals blank feet. So we have miles to feet, and 5,280 feet equals 1 mile. That's a lot of feet. So miles are bigger than feet, and feet are smaller than miles. And therefore, it's going to take a lot of feet, as we already said, 5,280 feet in 1 mile to equal 3 miles. So we're going to have to multiply to figure out how many feet that would be. We're going to multiply by 5,280. So 5,280 times 3, lost my 5 there, there it is. So 3 times 0 is 0, 3 times 8 is 24, 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8, and 3 times 5 is 15. So therefore, 15,840 feet are in 3 miles. That's all I have for you today on customary units of length. Please remember that these are our numbers. You don't have to memorize our table that we have up here. That's not important. But it is important to always have a table like that handy as you're converting between them. I appreciate you watching our video, and please check back next time. Bye.